So for a lot of you guys, you know me. My name is Aaron Biley. I'm a diamond director with this wonderful company called Jeunesse Global. I've been with the company almost 5 years this September, and it's completely changed my life. I'll tell you my story as we go along this presentation, which will go for a bit under 1 hour, and we'll talk a bit about, right back to what are the trends out there in business today? What are the facts and figures around business, around this industry today in 2016? Some pretty interesting things happening. We'll talk about the company itself in Jeunesse. What is it? How is it established? We'll talk about the products, the pay plan and how that works, how you get paid in this business, and what your success blueprint might look like, because some people love to get involved in home-based businesses just to make an extra $500 per month. That could mean the world of difference to a family. Could be car repayments, could be everything. And some people are looking for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 per month, which could make a significant impact on the household budgets. And some people much more than that, 6-7 figures. And so your blueprint is going to look different depending on how big or small you're thinking with this. You might just be here to look at the products, to live longer, look more beautiful, and that's okay as well. Wherever you fit in, I want to make sure I provide some value in today's presentation. We'll cover each one of these aspects, and I'll tell you my story as we go along the journey as well. So I said 5 years this September. So 5 years ago, I was in Sydney. I was miserable. I was broke, and I was working 100-hour weeks in the fitness industry. But it all started a bit before then. I think I've been an entrepreneur ever since I was born, and sometimes it's in your blood, even though you don't realize it until much later. And so when I was a kid, I actually used to sell all my birthday presents and my Christmas presents back to my brothers and sisters, to try and make some money for $1 or $2. And as I got older, moved on to growing and selling veggies and fruit into the local town, and then scrap metal. I had meat birds. I did everything you could think of to make money, as a young kid. And looking back now, must have always had that entrepreneurial spirit. When I graduated from high school, I went down to Adelaide in South Australia to play Aussie rules football for North Adelaide. And I kind of just kicked along, as 19, 20, 21-year-olds do, playing football, going out on the weekends, and really they were my main priorities, a pretty uncomplicated life. I got a phone call one day from a school teacher actually and said, "Would you like to make extra income?" I said, "Of course." I said, "What is it?" He said, "I can't tell you. I need to meet up with you." And that was my first real exposure, at 21 years of age, 18 years ago now, to the network marketing industry. And I didn't make a whole lot of money in the beginning of my career because I really didn't have it as a big priority. I hadn't done much personal development. I didn't have a business mindset. I had very little support, and sometimes a 21-year-old and 22-year-old through the journey, you don't have a whole lot of credibility in business as well. But what it did do was it opened up my eyes to the new age of business, to residual income, to working for myself, to wealth creation, to living life on my terms, to not being mediocre, and I guess a little bit of a blueprint on how to do that, but a sense that it was possible. And so I set out on a journey to read every single book, listen to every single audio, go to every single seminar that I could on wealth creation, on personal development, on business, real estate, shares, you name it. I devoured as much information as I could over the coming years. And literally 4 weeks after reading my very first book that my upline in that business gave me, which was called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, where it says 80% of people that are wealthy own their own business. And so I literally quit my job. I sold my car that I had, and I bought my first business at the age there of 21. It was in the fitness industry. And so I loved that. I felt a sense of purpose. I felt a sense of ownership and pride of running my own business and being in control. And I absolutely enjoyed that. I had some great mentors around me in traditional business. But I guess my ultimate dream, which is always, I guess, up there in the clouds, I didn't really know how I was going to achieve it, but it was always to move to Noosa Heads in Queensland and to basically sit on the beach, make millions of dollars coming into my bank account, and have a great lifestyle, travel the world, and help as many people as I could. I just didn't know how I was going to do that. I had really big aspirations, so an opportunity popped up 5 years later in Sydney. So I moved to Sydney, sold my gym in Adelaide, and I forecast to make my wealth over in Sydney with bigger opportunities. Very quickly, though, I realized that my goal of how my lifestyle looked and what I was currently doing didn't really match up. You know, this gym thing, this fitness industry, being a personal trainer, running traditional business, you know, I had a lot of overheads. I had a lot of expenditure and risk and staff and stress, and the business really relied on me. I mean, I was really still trading time for money. And so I set off on a journey to find out, now, how were these 21-year-olds making all this money on eBay and membership websites and this new age of business where you could work from home, work your own hours, and have money coming in online, because I just wasn't very tech savvy. And the great thing about this business opportunity is you don't have to be. Fast forward a few years, I'd spent all the money I'd made from selling my businesses. I had 8 investment properties. I'd had a really big go at getting ahead in life through traditional business, through the new age of business, through network marketing, through real estate, through shares. Anything you could think of over that last decade, I had tried. And I found myself in a situation where very cleverly I'd brought a second gym, a whole heap of investment properties, and this was me. I was living paycheck to paycheck. I was now working 100 hours per week between the 2 gyms. I was up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I would get home around about 9 p.m. And I'd lost the passion for the fitness industry, and I didn't want to even go anywhere near franchising or traditional business again, especially with all my research was showing me how much money people were making and the lifestyles that they were leading with the new age of business. I just needed to find out how to do this thing, find the right company, the right vehicle, the right mentors at the right time. And I almost gave up on my dream, but I don't think giving up is in my DNA. And so I kept on researching, I kept on turning over rocks, I kept on looking for mentors, and it just kept leading me back to the network marketing industry. And I just really felt that the goals and dreams that I had, it wasn't just about the money anymore. You know, coming into my late 20s, early 30s, I didn't really care about, you know, owning a traditional business or what turnover I was making. For me now, it was all about I wanted to start a family. And if I was up at 5 o'clock in the morning, my kids would still be in bed. If I was coming home at 9 o'clock at night, my kids would be in bed. I would have literally saw them at that stage in my life on the weekends and the afternoons. And I didn't want that. I was no way that I was going to have the lifestyle if I continued to do what I was doing. You know, I wanted to work from home. I didn't want to drive in a car to a physical place in peak hour traffic. I didn't want to have staff, overheads, equipment, all these different things. I wanted to move to Noosa in a beautiful house, work from home, start a family, travel the world, and have this incredible lifestyle. What are your dreams? What are your dreams and goals? I mean, we've got over 100 people on the webinar tonight. You're here for a reason. It's, you know, 8:45 at night Eastern Standard Time here in Australia. You could be watching so many different television shows right now. You could be putting the kids to bed. You could be spending time with your loved one. You could be doing recreation, lots of different activities. You could be at the gym. But you've chosen to get onto this webinar because maybe, just maybe, this is the answer that you've been looking for. And it certainly was for me. So I congratulate you on making a sacrifice to get on this call tonight, because 5 years ago I sat on a very similar call and it turned everything around for me. I couldn't get past the statistics in this industry. I mean, I dabbled in it from the age of 21, you know, almost like a kitten with a ball of wool. Not really seriously, but I understood the industry. I understood, and I'd made a little bit of money dabbling around in that. But 2011, I mean, technology had come a long way. I mean, I'm doing a webinar sitting here in my home office in Noosa Heads in Queensland right now, and I'm talking to people from all over the world. I couldn't have done that back when I started in this industry. You know, it was basically door knocking, hassling friends and families, ringing Uncle Bob every single week until I finally wore him down and he said, yes, okay, I'll join you. None of that was too appealing to me. They'd talk about the 10-year plan, the 20-year plan. And whilst I guess that is better than working for someone for 40 years and still retiring, you know, not too well off, it still doesn't sound too sexy. But then I started seeing, 200 million people expected to join this industry in the next decade. And we're going to do more growth just in the next 10 years. More growth, more turnover, more sales than we've done in the last 70 years combined. 1 in every 8 homes now is a home-based business. People are sick of peak hour traffic, working for somebody else. Stay-at-home mums want to have a business. They don't want to go back to work. Corporate people had enough. They don't want to work the hours. People want freedom. They want to live life on their terms, but how do we go about that? And the technology thing was a really big one for me. So I just kept looking at the industry, and I got together with a group of guys that I really respected in traditional business and some group of guys that I respected in network marketing that had made, millions of dollars over the years in Australia. And I said, hey, I want to form a mastermind group. I want you to be my mentor. I want to have a really solid, proper full-time go at this network marketing thing. I really see it booming out there at the moment. If we could just find the right company with the right group of products, I really reckon we could make a go of this. And I just didn't see any other business model that with my type of schedule, that I could get a return on, because I just had no time. So I figured that if I went to bed an hour later, if I used my weekends, Saturday and Sunday afternoons, I could get about 7 hours a week in and hopefully get some sort of traction in a network marketing business. I started seeing Richard Branson with his own network marketing company, Donald Trump with his own network marketing company, Warren Buffett, 2007, 8, and 9, investing in direct sales companies. Warren Buffett's first one was a company called The Pampered Chef, and he said in the media that was the best cash-on-cash return that I've ever made. And you look at all the share prices from 2008 absolutely plummeting. The top 7 publicly traded network marketing companies went up an average of 265%. And I don't know how Warren Buffett does it, but he knew that. He was investing in them. And it just made me more and more willing to look at this industry when the big boys of town were getting right behind it. I started seeing this perfect storm coming together, where the baby boomers now were at the age where the superannuation had been eaten up by the global financial crisis. They were at an age where anti-aging as an industry was going through the roof. I wanted to get in on that niche, in that line of products somewhere, because I look back through history, and every time the baby boomers went through another market, people made a lot of money. When the baby boomers were babies, people became millionaires and billionaires selling baby food. It makes sense when you've got 1 billion people all around the world that need to eat. As teenagers, the fast food outlets really became quite wealthy. When all the baby boomers left home, biggest real estate boom we've ever seen as they bought their first house, etc., etc. Anti-aging now is huge. Now we've got Generation Y, which is basically the fastest group of people joining network marketing today. Yes, people are still going to universities and college, but not everybody wants to. In fact, this generation, when surveyed, was the most entrepreneurial generation has been seen, in a census, where 60% said they'd love to be an entrepreneur, they'd love to own their own business, but they can't get the money together to start their invention or their franchise. And so what do they turn to? Network marketing is so cheap to get into. They're already great with technology. They're already great with social media, and they're killing this business, making it their full-time career. The economy is in our favor. More and more and more people now are looking for a plan B, a secondary source of income, a backup, or even a primary lifestyle business rather than the 9-to-5 treadmill. We've got this huge middle class throughout Asia. It's getting bigger and bigger. People coming online every single day. I mean, there's more middle class just in China alone than the whole population of the United States of America. And this wasn't the case 20 years ago. You were either really, really rich everywhere in Asia or very, very poor. There was really no middle class, certainly with no credit cards, certainly not on the internet. This is happening today in huge numbers. And James Packer back in 2011 on 60 Minutes said, if you can find a product line or a business opportunity that the rising middle class through the Asia Pacific will be fanatical about, that'll be the best wealth creation tool you'll ever see in your lifetime. Bigger than the internet itself. I remember writing that down to say, find that product line, find that business opportunity, and then combine that with technology. I mean, going and talking to 100 people takes a long time. Running a webinar for an hour, I can achieve that and some. I can put a post on Facebook and get 10 orders. So technology today is just huge. Smartphones, social media, YouTube videos. So I can come into people's living rooms and show my personality and show who I am, very, very leveraged manner. And this is the reason, with this perfect storm, with these global trends, that the new age of business, network marketing, home-based business, direct sales, internet marketing, is going through the roof today. We touched on the anti-aging industry because, okay, I want to get online with the new age of business. I want to start this part-time alongside of what I'm doing and let the income build up. When it builds up to a certain level, I can go full-time. Network marketing looks pretty good to be able to do that. No risk, no overheads, 30-day money-back guarantee. But which company do I choose? Because there are literally over 10,000 different companies that you can be part of. So together with this mastermind group in 2011, we started researching every single company that we could find, narrowed it down to 20, narrowed it down to 10, flew to the US, a dozen times, met with owners, scientists, staff members, entrepreneurs, looked at so many incredible products. But at the end of the day, we wanted to make sure we're in the anti-aging niche. Someone turns 50 every 7 seconds in the world today. Huge, huge industry that's just growing and growing and growing. Expected to be a $300 billion industry right now and $1 trillion by 2025. At the end of 2011, around September 2011, we came across Jeunesse. And it was another company that we were just looking into, but very quickly, every box that we had this very strict criteria that we all agreed we would not build a company until we found a company that ticked every single one of these boxes. And Jeunesse was the only company that did. We looked at it. It had every single thing going for it. We came back to Australia and I started building the business part-time alongside my 2 gyms, 7 hours a week. Now, for most people that we speak to out there today, if someone's working 100 hours a week and you say, hey, I've got another project for you, what's their typical answer? I'm too busy. But what's the reality? I'm just too busy being mediocre to go and look at being great. For me, I didn't want to keep on doing that. And the only solution for me was to do something different. I didn't want to close the doors up and put up the white flag. I didn't want to go bankrupt. I wanted to dig my way out and I wanted to make something of it. And so I knew I had to put in the work and I just had to find those hours. So when people say they don't have time, they just don't have a priority to get ahead. And that's okay. That's okay. But a lot of people do want to get ahead and they will put the time aside and make it a priority. Now, we really believed, ticking every single box of our criteria, that Jeunesse could possibly, in our wildest dreams, one day become a billion-dollar company. Now, we'd researched the industry enough to know that that was very rare. In fact, only 19 companies in the last 100 years of direct selling in the DSA have ever reached $1 billion in annual sales before, out of tens of thousands. So it's very, very difficult to do, but if you can find a company and be part of that company and it does get to $1 billion in annual sales, if it gets to multiple billions, well, that is your very best chance of building not just full-time income, but an incredible income very, very quickly. That's what we were hoping for, that the company could perhaps achieve that in 10 or 20 years' time. We really believe that Jeunesse had the opportunity to do that. And very quickly, it became the youngest company in history to get inside the top 100 DSA rankings. And then it jumped to number 78 in 2013, number 46 in 2014, and then last year, we were the youngest company ever inside the top 40 DSA companies worldwide, setting records, Rising Star Award, fastest growing company in the world. Really incredible where we saw it going. I started to daydream that perhaps not only could Jeunesse be $1 billion company, the way we were going, we could be the fastest company in DSA history to ever reach $1 billion in annual sales. And that's exactly what happened at the end of last year. We hit $1.1 billion in sales, putting Jeunesse as the fastest company in the history of the world to do so. So that's what's happened. The company on average has doubled every single year for 6 years. And this year we're on track to do the same. Now, to put that in perspective for a lot of people, we've all heard of, the fantastic company called Amway. That was actually the first company that I got that very first phone call from, back in 1999, I think it was. That took them 21 years to reach $1 billion in annual sales. And at the time, that was a record because you had other companies like Avon that had been around for 86 years before they hit $1 billion annually. Funnily enough, New Skin came along and beat them and did it in 20 years. And that stood. There's a company called Ambit Energy as well that did it in 7 years. Jeunesse has come along and did it in 6 years, making us the fastest company in DSA history to achieve that. And it kind of puts us up there with your Apples, your Facebooks, your Amazons as companies. So it's a pretty special achievement. And when the company's paying out, 50, 60% of its turnover to us as distributors, the mathematics is not too difficult to work out which company you want to align yourself with. This year, at the start of this year, we jumped into the top 20 companies in the world. The youngest company in history to ever be inside the top 20. And we've got our eyes set on the top 10, the top 5, the number 1 DSA company in the world over the coming years. Now, I kind of hate those cliches. I hate the $1 billion cliche because everyone in every company says the same thing. The fact is we did it. The fact is the audited DSA statistics say we're the fastest in history. And then if you look at the infrastructure that Jeunesse has got in place, there's really no reason that we can't become a 2, a 4, a 6, a $10 billion company. We're in over 125 markets in the world. We have these incredible owners that are building this company for the long term, building it with integrity. They're making all the decisions based on the distributors, not on themselves. They already made hundreds of millions of dollars many times over before starting Jeunesse. So they started it from scratch. Randy's been Florida Businessman of the Year twice. Wendy's been Female Entrepreneur of the Year. They are an incredible couple, incredible owners that behind the scenes are incredibly smart, that found out a way to take this company throughout that fastest growing region, the Asian Pacific marketplace, fastest growing area for network marketing in the world. That's where they started. They came back to the US and they went and opened up the rest of the world with products that are wanted fanatically all over the world. Very, very smart business model that other companies are starting to copy now. We've just bought a 130,000 square foot office in Orlando with cash. Why I say with cash, it kind of sounds corny, but it's important to know that there's not investors, there's not bank loans, because if stuff does get hairy in the economy again, something goes wrong, you don't want to be paying back loans. Just like in your personal life, if you lose your job, you don't want to have to pay that mortgage or that car loan back. You want to have things paid out in cash to give you some breathing space. It's the same in business. But it just goes to show the infrastructure that is set up to make sure Jeunesse is a rock-solid company for the long term. As I said, we're opening in 125 countries around the world and still growing. We're opening up India next year. Europe is just getting going. We've just opened up Brazil. So even if the countries that we're in currently do not grow, just by sheer fact of opening up Brazil, that maturing, opening up India, Europe growing, there's 2, 3, 4 billion straight away. Amway will do $1 billion in sales this year just in India alone. So it's pretty hard to see Jeunesse not becoming a multi-billion-dollar company. So joining up right now, you've got the infrastructure in place, you've got the momentum in place, you've got all the systems in place to become from 1 billion. You can work your butt off and help the company to grow to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You'll never look back. Now is the perfect time to be involved in this company going into their 7th year. But really, the reason that Jeunesse is number 1 around the world, you think about, yes, we have great owners. Yes, we have great marketing, great infrastructure. But at the end of the day, all that doesn't matter If someone tries a product, they don't like it, so they don't buy it month 2. What do you have to then go and do? You have to then go and sign up another person. And then they don't really like the products, then you have to go and sign up somebody else. And then, whoops, we better open up a new country to get some more volume. There's only so long you can do that for. But if customers, pure customers that have no interest in the business, get a fanatical emotional attachment to products, and they have to have it the second month, the third month, the fourth month, the fifth month, whether there's a business opportunity attached to it or not, that's how you build as an entrepreneur a rock solid long-term residual income business. And that really is what puts Jeunesse at the top, is cutting edge science, incredible, not only anti-aging, but age reversal products, the youth enhancement system, all working synergistically with each other to wind back the clock. The closest thing to the fountain of youth that science can actually prove in 2016. And as soon as you mention the word stem cell technology, everybody wants to know about it. It's in every magazine, every newspaper, every TV news report, just about on a daily basis of some other breakthrough happening thanks to stem cells. Jeunesse have the first global cosmetic product line in the world derived from adult stem cell technology. And what that means is it just flat out works like nothing else I've ever seen before. And I have to admit, back in 2011, with our criteria, all the boxes that we were ticking, I wasn't sure whether a country boy from Orroroo that was a football player and a personal trainer, I could see myself getting passionate and on stage talking about night creams and serums. But I had to be smart, because I remember my number one priority was to get out of my current financial situation, was to make as much money as I could as quickly as I could, was to make sure it was long-term and residual, and then to help as many other people around the world do the same thing. You see, my passion, what gets me out of bed every single morning without an alarm clock, apart from my family, is helping other people to achieve their goals and dreams and to help them live life on their terms. I'm just not a massive believer in working the corporate, what I call 9 to 5 zombie treadmill. And no disrespect to people that want to do that. What you got to understand is, if you love your job and you're so passionate about it, and you're making the exact amount of income that you want, and you get to spend the exact amount of time with your family and friends that you want, then you've made it. That is success. That is happiness. That is making it. You don't need to do this. You might love the product line. You'll get lots out of it. Become a customer. But there's a lot of people out there, and what I'm talking about is, you might think your job's okay. Now, to me, that is sad. You've got one shot at life. Be passionate about what you're doing 9 to 5. Be passionate about your life. Make a difference. And if that's not you, you got one. No one's going to change that for you. Stand up, be a man, be a woman, and be passionate. Go and do something you're passionate about, even if that means earning less money. Get more time, spend more time with your family. That's what it's all about. And if that's not you at the moment, then don't settle for that. And look, this may or may not be for you. And if it's not for you, go and find something that allows you to do something that you're passionate about, to make a living with, spend time where you want to spend it. And my catch cry, what it all comes down to, is living life on your terms. And the best way that I've found to do that is to have income coming into your bank account, whether you're working it or not, residual income. The best way I've found to get that is with network marketing. The best company I've found in that industry is this company. And this skincare line, I had to be smart, put my entrepreneurial hat on, and went, okay, what is that fast-growing middle class of the Asian Pacific fanatical about? And guess what? If there's anyone here from Asia on this call tonight, you'll know fanatical about skincare. Every second billboard throughout the Philippines, China, Malaysia, Thailand is about skincare. I didn't know that. I didn't know anything about skincare 5 years ago. Trust me, I never even used a moisturizer in my life. But that James Packer comment on 60 Minutes, I had to tick that box. Fanatical about network marketing, tick that box. It's a recession-proof product line. Now I know that if bad times come around again as a global financial crisis, people will give up their gym memberships, probably give up their healthy juice, probably even give up their nutrition, but they are not going to give up the skincare that makes them look younger, makes them feel great. And you only have to look back through history to find out that that is true. Every depression, every recession, skincare, makeup, cosmetics, beauty, sales increased. So I needed to make sure I had not only a recession-proof business, but a recession-proof product line as well. I looked at the types of people that were joining network marketing today, and a huge trend was for that stay-at-home mum, for that 40-year-old corporate lady that didn't want to go back to work after having kids. And so I knew this product line would work really well, with that marketplace. Fastest growing group of people in skincare today is men. So that was going to work as well. And then the real kicker for me was when I looked at all those $19 billion companies, Jeunesse became the 20th. When I looked at all of them, 18 of them, their number one selling product line was skincare. So then why would I go and do travel or gold and silver coins or weight loss or anything else except for what has proven to work for decades and will continue to work for decades? And that had me. And then I thought to myself, you know what, I'm not just going to settle for that from a business point of view. I am going to get passionate about this. And so I thought, I don't want to look 40 when I hit 40, and I certainly don't want people thinking I'm 50 when I am 50. I'm going to try these products out, take some before and after pictures, and really see what happens. And I got some tremendous results in 90 days. My wife got great results in 90 days. We became hugely passionate about the products, both from a skincare point of view and a nutritional point of view, which I was really into anyway. And now I use the products more than my wife does. So she always forgets to put the night cream on at night. I'm putting it on in the bathroom. My skin is glowing. She's exhausted after the 2 kids all day. And have you put your night cream on yet? Oh, I can't be bothered. Go and put your night cream on. And so I'm right into it, both from an entrepreneurial point of view and an authentic customer as well. But this product packaging is sharp. All the products have the magic potion in there and abbreviations from human stem cell technology. It's important to note there's no actual stem cells in our products. Stem cells just don't survive outside the human body. Your stem cells are only good for you. My stem cells are only good for me. But the communication language, the breakdown from the stem cells dividing, is what's called growth factors. And the growth factors are exactly the same in every single human being on this planet. Collagen, elastin, it's like having the same blood type, the same fingerprint. That is what is in our products. It's derived from human stem cells dividing. Okay, so there's plenty of stem cell products out there on the marketplace, but they will be derived from rose petals or algae or apples. Fruit, plants. There's no scientific evidence to show that they do anything to replenish our skin cells, our growth factors, collagen, elastin. There's scientific studies to prove that it obviously does work human to human. And the before and after results you'll see are tremendous. You've got the cleanser, the serum, the day cream, the night cream, the body renewal, and the ultimate lifting mask. All will work best in conjunction with each other. All have a different percentage of the growth factors in there, all natural products. The serum there is your flagship product, second from the left. If you had to buy one of these, you would buy the serum. Nothing else on the planet like it. 85% concentration of the formulation, the growth factors. So you won't find any other product out there that has a higher percentage of what they actually say is working in the products, let alone derived from adult stem cells, let alone over 200 growth factors. It really will work. 30-day money-back guarantee. Try those products out for yourself. Here's one clinical study that shows after 56 days, a 65% decrease in deep lines. And it's male, 56 days, a 52% decrease in fine lines. And we've got many, many, many before and after pictures, and I do need to update my presentation to put some of the new ones in. But I could flick through 100 before and after pictures and take 20 minutes of your time up. We won't do that tonight. This is a lady from Dallas who was actually using a different skincare line and selling it as a full-time business. Decided just to try our products out because she'd heard so much about them. Got this incredible result. Got a great before and after picture. and changed to our product line. The rest is history. So that was probably my favorite before and after photo of last year, but we've just got so many more now that we can include them for certain presentations, but you can go online and check them out as well. Instantly Ages has been a new addition to our product line last year. Not part of the stem cell line with Dr. Newman, but more of a peptide called aduraline. And again, you can Google aduraline, an incredible product that gets rid of fine lines, wrinkles, bags, dark spots straight away within 2 minutes. And for me, where I love using this product is, hereditary. My boys have got it, my mum's got it. Dark shadows under the eyes, bags under the eyes, especially with lack of sleep. Now, I put the Instantly Ages on there, completely gets rid of those bags, those dark circles, and it's incredible. You don't even notice it, how much that does age you and how much younger you look without it. So here's a few quick pictures of the girls putting it under one eye and not the other. Incredible product that took the US market from doing about $3 million in sales per month to doing over 15 million per month within about a 90-day period when that product was released. It's such a great conversational product. You can showcase it instantly. People say, oh my God, I want more. I've got to have that. What else have you got? You start talking about the stem cells, the whole youth enhancement system. Hey, there's also a business. It's so easy to start up the conversation and demonstrate it. Most products take a while to work with weight loss or nutrition or anything. So look at our nutritional line, because look, we really do age scientifically from the inside. I think we all know that. Unfortunately, we don't wake up in the morning and look at our internal system. We wake up in the morning and look at the bags under our eyes and go and spend money on that. About 3 times more, in fact, than what we do on our health. But this is what really interests me in the beginning, was the extra level of science that I'd never even heard of that Jeunesse was involved in. Not just talking about cellular health, which we're quite aware of now and a lot of products will work on. We're talking about the next level up of genetic science, genetic health. So influencing our genes, our DNA and things like that, which really was quite incredible to me. And scientists up until recently really believed that 80% of what made us was what mum and dad gave us, our genes, our genetics. Now they're saying it's more like the other way around, more like 20%, 80% now with science and with these types of products and education, we can take the 20% of our genetics but determine the rest. The way our weight goes and our diseases and things like this. And so AM PM is an incredible product. 2 a.m.s in the morning, 2 p.m.s at night. The biggest testimonials we get, feeling more energy, I'm sleeping better. But really, you look at the higher energy, the higher science with this product. Yes, it will do everything a multivitamin will do, an essential oil, a probiotic, but it's also helping in a genetic sense of helping to repair and protect our very own DNA. Now, as we get older, nothing heals as quickly. So we do a hamstring injury playing sport, at 40 years of age, we're probably out for 6 months. When we're 20, we're out for less than 6 weeks. It's the same internally. And so all the free radicals that are bouncing around in our body from bad diet and alcohol and stress and just living in the city, smoking, all these types of things, the free radicals are forming and getting inside our cells, our DNA, and damaging that. When we're younger, it's not so bad. Because it repairs that, it protects that. And as we get older, the little army that comes to fix it up and protect it just takes that little bit longer. And if your cells start to die and go away, that's not good for our aging process. Even worse, if the little army doesn't get to there to repair it, and you've got a damaged cell that now goes away and continues to replicate, well, that's really bad news for your aging. That is a huge increase in the percentage chance of you getting lifestyle diseases. We don't want that. And so AM/PM can help to protect that DNA, help to repair that DNA, help to slow down the shortening of our telomeres, help to turn on our sirtuin gene. And our reserve product also does that as well, helps to switch on the sirtuin gene. You can look that up. Also called our longevity gene. All the blue zones around the world, there's 8 blue zones around the world where the average age that people live to is around 100, which is much longer than the normal capacity of what we live. And the main reason they live so long is because that gene is activated, because they eat about 40 to 60% less calories than what we do in the Western world, which will automatically switch on that gene. For most of the people in the Western world, that gene is never ever activated for your whole life. We can activate that, yes, by eating less, but that's not my favorite way to do it, and probably not most people's, but by taking natural supplements such as resveratrol, the AMPM, which has got 85 different ingredients in there, that can help to switch on that longevity gene to help us live a longer, healthier life. And again, if you look at what resveratrol can do, the most researched antioxidant in the world. Harvard University still call it a modern miracle. Incredible antioxidant blend, incredible for your immune system, great for your energy, great for athletes. I give it to my kids. It's just absolutely fantastic. I never travel without this reserve product because I don't know whether it's just me and my headspace, but every time I travel without it, come back, scratchy throat, cough, cold. If I travel with it, I never get that. So look, it's just an incredible product, all 100% natural. It's just an incredible product, resveratrol. Jeunesse actually has the most potent source of resveratrol with that reserve product. I mean, you can get resveratrol from a health food shop today, but it's going to be in a capsule form, in a powdered form. So, 90% of it's not going to get absorbed into the bloodstream. Whereas with the packaging the way it is, the first time you rip it open, that's the first time it's seen oxygen. So it hasn't been oxidized. It's a gel formulation, so it's going to get absorbed into the bloodstream straight away. 90% of it's going to go and work and benefit you. So it's an incredible source of resveratrol, which we normally find, in red grapes, and that's why they say red wine is good for us. But you're just never going to get the amount of dosage of resveratrol you need, drinking red wine, and it'd be probably a bad social experiment to try and do that. Our next product, Finity. TA65 is the special ingredient in Finity. We're the only network marketing company in the world with the license to TA65, along with the mimic diet where we're eating less calories, calorie restriction, which is an accepted scientific way to switch on that longevity gene and live longer. You can also have a scientifically accepted longevity with TA65 because it's the only product that's scientifically proven to re-lengthen damaged telomeres. And so if anyone else is telling you their product does, look, it could, but it just hasn't been scientifically proven to do so. So we can legally, ethically, and scientifically say that with our Finity product. What are telomeres? Again, you can Google that, but think about them as the long, smooth tip at the end of our shoelaces, but they're at the end of our chromosomes. And every time our cells divide from the day we're born, those telomeres are getting shorter and shorter and shorter. They're getting frayed, and when they disappear, we die. So the Nobel Peace Prize in the medical section of the Nobel Prize went to some scientists that discovered that, which is basically the most accurate way to discover how well or how bad we were aging. Today, you can go into some specialists in the US and you can get your bloods done, and they can test your telomeres to see how they're shortening. You might be 40 years of age but have telomeres of an 80-year-old. You might be 40 that have the telomeres of a 20-year-old. Your doctor specialist can tell you that with a blood test now. TA65 will re-lengthen prematurely shortening telomeres. It won't re-lengthen normal shortening ones, so you're not going to turn into a 12-year-old and be Benjamin Button. But it's a great way to have more longevity and more youthful, and the testimonials that come from this product are incredible. Zen Body also too. I mean, as an ex-personal trainer, never was a big fan of any sort of protein powders or meal replacements. But when I look at the science behind Zen, it really blew me away. But the best thing about Zen was the results I got on it. So I tried it out for a month before going on a Mediterranean cruise recently and lost 13 kilos on that. So I know that it works if you stick to the program well. Because as we get older, our metabolism slows down. That's a fact. We want products that speeds that up again, like Zen does. Every year after 30, our body naturally wants to get rid of 1% of our lean muscle and gain 1% body fat every year. That adds up after a while and it doesn't look great. But with exercise, resistance training, the right diet, it doesn't have to be that way. And Zen encourages lean muscle growth, instead of body fat percentage. It encourages our body to burn body fat again as a fuel source. And it helps us to not have the cravings of the sugars, the big meals. So it's all combined into this incredible series of products that helps us to do all of those things. And I just love the shakes. I love the amino acids. I love the detox. I love everything about this product range, but I love the system even more, because only half the battle is your exercise, calories out, and what you eat. The other half of the battle, or the majority really, is mindset. If you want to lose weight, you've got to be accountable to somebody. You got to be motivated. You got to see inspiring stories. You got to know what to eat. You got to know how to exercise. It's all education and accountability, and we have a whole program around that with ZenProject8.com. So you can just plug people into that and plug people into the products, and they're going to get some great results. Nevo, available in the US, maybe Canada, a few other places around the world, not yet Australia. Hopefully we can get this product into our marketplace later this year or next year. And again, I'm not a big energy drink fan, mostly because the energy drinks on the marketplace are just purely not good for you. Lots of caffeine, lots of sugar, lots of bad news. This is the most healthy formulation of an energy drink that I've ever come across, and it does work. It does give you a bit of energy kick from the natural flavors and berries and nutritionals that they have in Nevo. A $9 billion market is the energy drink market. Opens up a whole new demographic for the business that you're building. So this is available around the world, just not yet here in Australia. And the last product there, VitaCell, which kind of think about this one as a detox, a cleanser, which is really important for your health today. For everything else to work properly, you have to get rid of those heavy metals and detox first. That's what VitaCell is great for. So made from a special kind of rice from Thailand. It was actually given to malnutrition children, and they found some great benefits with adults as well. So great for your energy levels. If you have high cholesterol, give this product a go, but great cleansing detox product. So how do we make money with all this? The products are incredible, the company is incredible, but we've got to go to work. There's no free lunch. We've got to put some time aside. We've got to be coachable. You've got to learn the ropes. The great thing about this business is you've got mentors that will teach you how to achieve what they've achieved for free. Okay, they'll take you by the hand. They're available on the phone 24/7, and they will show you what to do if you're really serious about building a business. There's 6 different ways to make money with Jeunesse. First way, real simple, wholesale retail. We all understand that one. You buy the products at a wholesale rate, you then on-sell them at a retail rate. Across the board, an average of probably 40 to 60% markup on your products. You can do party plan. You can go to expos, you can have stands in shopping centers, you can sell them at hairdressers, etc., etc. Internet marketing, if you're good at that, just send people to your website, they buy a product, you make the difference. The second way to earn income is people go, you know what, these products do look pretty good. I want to package them all up and try the whole youth enhancement system together as one. So I want some nutritional, some skincare. Maybe I want to try all of the skincare first. You can actually buy a best buy wholesale package, which actually works out cheaper than buying individual products at wholesale. You get a once-off opportunity to buy one of these packages. So if someone comes to your personalized website and buys one of these packages, you will make a once-off sales bonus. So a basic package, you'd make $25. An ambassador package sale, you'd make $250. So some very good upfront income as your business gets off the ground there. The third way is what really started to excite me when I was looking at this pay plan for the first time 5 years ago, because it starts to show some very leveraged income that starts to continue to tick over and roll over, with or without me. So in Jeunesse, we're building 2 teams. Okay, a left team and a right team. And you need to have that balance for the mathematics of a compensation plan to work on that global scale. So every time there is product purchased on your left team and on your right team, you're going to make a $35 team commission. So this doesn't necessarily have to be you. It might start with you and you love the products just like you love a movie, just like you love a restaurant. You start recommending it to people on Facebook, in person. Hey, you look fantastic. Have you had Botox? No, I'm just trying this incredible new stem cell natural products. Okay, get me some of that. You look great. Okay, buy this package. And then John wants to build the business as well. He's telling everyone. So the first 2 people there might be a result of yourself, but then the next 10 people might be a result of John and Judy there. Okay, and this can just continue and continue and continue and continue. My business, I've enrolled personally 130 people who have been very picky with who I've invited to look at my business. Out of those 130 people, it's turned into 100,000 people in about 103 countries around the world. And that is a great testimonial to how great our products are, because people can't help but talk about them, use them, share them, and the business can become very lucrative. Now, every time those $35 team commissions happen, whether you've put someone in, whether your upline's put someone in, whether someone's gone shopping on the internet, whether one of your team signed up somebody, that can be someone buying product in Africa, Canada, America, Australia, New Zealand, Philippines, it doesn't matter. Left hand, right hand, $35, that can happen up to 750 times per week. Okay, so 750, just the pure mathematics of times by $35 is a maximum there of 26,250 US dollars per week in passive income of that part of the pay plan, which is pretty good money. But we want more, of course. We're thinking big. We have big plans. We want a big business blueprint. And so you have an unlimited amount of income, like a franchise fee on steroids here, where every person that we enroll, we're going to earn 20% of that team commission. So if they go on to make $26,250 per week, then that person that we personally enrolled, we call that our level 1. We would make 20% of that person. So not saying that that'll happen easily for you. It might take 10, 20, 100, 1,000 people to find that person. Maybe it's your first person and you win the lotto, who knows? But just for simple mathematics and an example for this presentation, if they go on to make $1 million a year, 20% of that would be $200,000 in commission for you every single year off that one enrollment. But then they're going to enroll people that you may not even know. They become your level 2s. So we're going to earn 15% on all of their team commissions as well. And this is where the franchise fee doesn't just become you as a master distributor and your franchisees. It becomes your franchisees and their franchisees. So it's a business franchise model percentage on steroids. But then they enroll someone that becomes your level 3, 10%, level 4, 5%, all the way down to 7 levels of generation over the top of an infinity 2 teams up to 26 grand per week. So this pay plan is completely unlimited because you can have as many level 1s as you want, which means you can have as many level 2s as you want, and so forth and so forth. And some of the incomes that people are earning in this business right now are quite phenomenal. You can actually jump on to websites and check that out. You know, businessforhome.org has a great list of the top 100 income earners around the world. You can check out their monthly incomes and get a bit of an idea. Number 5 is just really simply giving yourself a bonus. So we want to get customers in our business. Okay, we want to get business builders, but customers are the glue. Customers are people that are going to come back and just buy the product every single month, be loyal, love the product, you know, for the next 10 years. And so by simply having 5 customers, Jeunesse will reward you with not just 20% on the people that you enroll, but now 25%. If you have 10 customers, now 30%. So just for that mathematical example that we had earlier, that $1 million income earner where we were earning 200 grand a year off them, we're now going to be earning 300,000 a year off that one person's enrollment. And so it's good to have 10 customers because that's a pretty handy bonus to have just on that mathematical example. Number 6 is the diamond pool, my favorite part of the pay plan, soon to be yours as you get to diamond in the business, which is where I am now. I got to diamond in 2 years, 11 months. You share in part of the company's profits. And so you saw the company turnover of 1.1 billion. The company pays out their staff, their scientists, their products, their overheads, and they pay 60% back to us. 3% of that global sale of the company goes into a pool of money just for the diamonds. We basically become shareholders of the company. 3% of that is pretty good. Depending on how much of that pool I get, depends on how well my business performed in those 90 days. We get paid this every 90 days. It also depends on how many diamonds were part of that diamond pool for those 90 days. But let me tell you, every 90 days when we get this bonus, I go out and celebrate, because it's a big bonus. We'll just say that. On top of all that, if you love to travel, if you love the lifestyle that this can provide, working from home, traveling the world, I love when you get to Emerald, you win a free trip to Hawaii, and that is a free trip. It's not it's free, but you pay for your flights. It is free. Flights, accommodation, food, drinks, snorkeling, scuba diving, watching the whales, dinners, everything you can think of is paid for at the Grand Walaya in Maui. It is one of the best trips and experiences I've ever been on. So once you get to Emerald, you will win that for free. Once you get to Diamond, my level, you will win a holiday, which I've calculated to around about an average of $40,000 per couple every single year. So last year we went to Tahiti. This year we were in Switzerland. Next year we go to Bora Bora, booking out the whole of the 4 seasons in Bora Bora with those huts over the water. You've got the glass floors, you've got the pool, jacuzzi, looking out onto the water. I can't wait for this trip. Business class flights, everything paid for. You've got to get to this level, guys. That's where the fun is at. But even if it's your day 2 in the business, you can still win other incentive trips. This year, we had an incentive trip to the Mediterranean on a cruise that you could win everything for free. Last year, we all went to Dubai, which is an incredible experience. I can't wait to see where we're going next year. That'll be announced soon. When you get to Sapphire, you win a trip to Noosa. At the moment, there's a trip up to Orlando, Disney World. So if you love to travel and you don't want to pay for it, Jeunesse offer a lot of great opportunities there. One of the charities that I'm really passionate about, apart from some of the local stuff that we do, is Free the Children. So look up Free the Children. It's our charity with Jeunesse kids. We've helped raise millions of dollars already for kids all around the world. A group of Jeunesse distributors and corporate staff just got back from Kenya. And what Free the Children do is they adopt villages. And so it's a partnership for the long term, not come in, feed a region, go again, feel good about yourself, kids are hungry the next day. It's about a long-term sustainability in all different areas to help kids all around the world. Great charity. So guys, that's me winding up, a little bit under an hour. You can get started in this business for a measly $38.05. That'll get you your virtual business kit, your replicated website, the ability to sell product wholesale, retail, have the pack sign up. You can be in business in 125 countries around the world. Buy one of those packages, try some products, get some belief in the industry, the business, the company, and the products. And find out where you sit. Get back to the person that invited you to this webinar and let them know this is the level of business blueprint that I'd like to talk to you about. I'd love to become a customer and just try the products. I don't want to pay retail, so can we do that at a wholesale rate? You know what? If I love the products, I'd like to just maybe look at doing this as a part-time business. If I could make an extra $2 or $3 grand a month, that'd be incredible. Or, hey, I'm really thinking big on this thing. I'll start part-time, but I'm looking at 6-7 figures and beyond. It doesn't matter where you fit in. Maybe it's not for you. That's cool as well. Just give the person that invited you to this webinar the respect to let them know where you fit in, and perhaps we can tee up a call, me and you together, to talk about that blueprint and map out something for the rest of this year, because it's a business that completely changed my life. I mean, when I got back from Orlando in 2011, working this business 7 hours per week, I was able to replace that income from the 2 gyms within my first year. So I sold those gyms. I went full-time into Jeunesse, and the rest is kind of history. It's been nearly 5 years, 130 enrollments into 100,000 people in 103 countries around the world. I moved up here to Noosa in March last year, which was fulfilling that dream that I'd always had. Live in a beautiful house, got a great lifestyle. I was able to start a family. I've got a 2-year-old, a 7-month-old, got married to Nicole. And so every dream that I ever had that I can remember in terms of income, lifestyle, family, where I wanted to live, how I wanted to live, the people that I'm helping, traveling the world, has all come to fruition. And, part of how I did that is going to be revealed at the Jeunesse University in Melbourne this weekend, talking about the power of the subconscious mind and how that really does come about. If you haven't spent enough time working on that, anything you try and achieve in life will be limited. So I'm going to do a big presentation on that, and every lesson that I've learned that I value over the last 18 years into my 18 biggest tips to be successful in this industry. But I'd love to meet with you in person. I'd love to work with you in person. It's my passion. My whole catch cry is living life on your terms, and that's what it comes down to. So for some people, that's not about the money. It's not about the big money. It's just about whatever that means for you, living life on your terms. But I believe that Jeunesse is the number one opportunity on the planet for you to be able to do that. So look forward to working with you. Look forward to you becoming part of the J-Fire team, and we're going to have a lot of fun together. This has been Aaron Biley. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next Monday night on next Monday's webinar. I'll see you at the Melbourne University and all around the world. Cheers for now, guys.